There's something about winter that naturally slows everything down. The mornings are darker and so much colder. The days are quieter, so to speak, especially when you live in a city. There's construction happening all the time. Hello, World Cup 2030. Anyways, even time feels like it does move a little bit more gently, though. I do agree with this one. And yet, this is often where we were so hard on ourselves. We're the hardest on ourselves when it's winter. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Hello, January. We calm, we chill, we vibe. All right, whether it's snowing for you or not. We tell ourselves that we should be doing more, moving faster, catching up, kind of like we did last week on our first episode of the year. So yeah, I want to talk about patience because patience is freaking key and we all know this. Slow and steady wins the race and what that really means, especially now that it's winter. Because this season isn't asking you for a sprint, it's asking you to stay, to trust the pace that you're moving at. And then remember that you're already on your path. Because let's see, we hear the phrase, slow and steady wins the race all the time. But, it's often misunderstood. It's not about being slower than everyone else. It's not about trying less. Believe me, I still believe, and I still trust that consistency is key. Consistency is key, but just because it's a new year on the calendar does not mean it's to be a new you. We keep on trying. We keep on pushing. It's about choosing a pace that you can actually sustain. Because in the story of the tortoise and the hare, the tortoise doesn't win because he's trying to be impressive. He wins because he doesn't quit. He doesn't burn himself out. And as someone who burns herself out a little too much lately, this is very important. He doesn't abandon the race halfway through. Haven't we all abandoned a race, metaphorically speaking or not, halfway through? Patience in real life works the same way. It is not passive, it is intentional. And winter, more like any other season, reminds us that rushing doesn't always make things happen faster. It just makes them harder. Because in nature, winter looks like nothing is happening. The trees are bare, the fields are empty, growth is hidden. But underneath, baby, roots are strengthening, energy is being restored and stored. Systems are stabilizing, and humans, you and me that were listening to this little thing on the internet, we aren't that different. Because seasons of your life aren't always about blooming. They're also about deepening. So if it feels quiet, better said, if it feels slow, like you're not producing as much as you used to or want to, or society's freaking telling you to, that doesn't mean that you're stuck. Heck no. It means that you're integrating, that you're healing, that you're learning something that cannot be rushed. Because progress doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like rest. Literally off your phone, scrolling, rest, listening to a meditation, reading, journaling, tarot, Lego building, crocheting, Catan playing. Insert any of your favorite hobbies here, even if it's from skateboarding to scuba diving. That can also be rest, And that's also what it means to show up for yourself quietly again and again and again. So, how do we take things slow without feeling like we're falling behind? The first thing is to shrink the definition of quote-unquote enough. In winter, enough might be one focused task, one honest conversation, a small, not so small, promise kept to yourself. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do something consistently. Because literally, second, so important, choose consistency over intensity. 10 minutes a day is more powerful than one exhausted burst a week. Slow, repeatable efforts build trust in yourself and in the process. And third, match your expectations to the season that you are in. Winter, if you're in winter right now, it is not designed for the peak performance. It's designed for maintenance, reflection, and quiet momentum. You don't need summer energy to make winter progress. Take that. Now, one of the hardest parts to remember of like the slow season is comparison. This also happens in the quote-unquote fast season, aka summer, because everyone's traveling, everyone's doing something, everyone's getting married, everyone's having babies, everybody, comparison. But right now, we're in winter. So we got to remember the following. Even though I would talk a million miles a minute, when you're moving quietly and calmly, it can feel that, everyone else is quote-unquote moving ahead. But yeah, what we usually see is other people's highlights, their harvest, not their winter at all. What you are seeing right now, it's moments of pause, of smosh, of carnivals, of the parade. Carnival's not happening yet, baby. Of just the slow down moments of my daily life. Your timeline is not broken. Your pace is not wrong. You are allowed to move in a way that protects your nervous system, your creativity, and your joy. If it helps, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what am I learning now? What might I be growing into, even if I can't see it yet? What would trusting my path look like today? Not someday. Often patience isn't about waiting longer. It's about resisting the urge to abandon yourself. If you're looking for simple ways to practice patience this season, here are a few gentle ideas. Create one daily anchor ritual, something small and grounding. Whether that's a cup of tea, a short walk, a few minutes of journaling, or stretching. Stretching's always really good, guys. Let it be your reminder that you're allowed to move slowly. Try a weekly check-in instead of a daily pressure. Ask yourselves, what felt heavy this week? What felt nourishing? And most importantly, lower the bar on purpose. Winter, and every other season to be honest, is not a season for perfection. We're honest, always. We rest, always. It's also quiet care, I'm not rushing this season. I'm rooting myself. So if you feel slower right now, if your motivation comes and goes, if your energy feels even different than it used to, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're literally being one of the most magical human beings on earth. Why? Because you're responding to the season you're in. You're connected to Mother Nature. Hello? Isn't that freaking magical and amazing? Slow and steady isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's choosing to arrive whole instead of exhausted. So, as winter continues, I hope you give yourself permission to move gently, to trust your pace, and to remember that being on your path matters more than how fast you walk it. And yeah, if this video resonated with you, feel free to leave a comment and share what season of your life you feel like you're in right now. And if you want more of this reflective conversations with weekly vlogs and so much love and spark and wisdom coming your way, feel free to subscribe, share, like, comment. I'm always happy to read it. Until next time, take it slow. You're doing much better than you think.